What's crack-a-lackin' hammerheads? Welcome back. How's everybody doing this? What is it? What day of the week is it? I don't do anything. I literally go to physical therapy. It's Wednesday, my dude. There we go. See? It's Wednesday. If you guys are into Spider-Man, hashtag Spider-Man, I am buying every single Spider-Man hot toy that is being released. I have a feeling that I'm going to take this clip and I actually am going to post a review of this figure and I can complete the video and take my time on it, which is my goal right now. This is my goal. Here's a little tip for you guys who are collecting Hot Toy figures. If you're collecting Hot Toy figures and you get your figure in the mail, the first thing that I do now is I rip off the address on there because the sticker is really sticky, and if you're going to get it off, you're going to get it off now. So that's been my thing lately. So this is a video game series. This usually says MMS. It's usually the movie Masterpiece series. So there's only 31 figures in that video game line. I own the Joker from Arkham Asylum, and I own the Deathstroke, which I'm both selling because I have no use for. I don't know. I'm just going to buy the Mezco figures for them. Now, let's pop this thing out. I took a peek at this earlier today. I couldn't help myself, and then I put it back in the box and then decided that I'm going to play with it, you guys. It's so ridiculous because when you buy these figures, you really want to like somehow display these awesome box arts on these. And what I like doing with these boxes is usually stealing their design on how they actually pose the figures from, it doesn't matter what toy it is or collectible. I try to steal that every single time. What's cool about this one is it's not part of the Infinity Wars, it's not part of Endgame, it's not part of anything. So the boxing, there's no slipcover on this one, so which is nice. And it does say video game here too. Sideshow just posted the voice actor for this, and we did play 54%, I think, on live stream of this game. So inside, we got a little bit of who came up with the character. It came with this accessory here, which we're probably never going to use. It goes over his head as if he's getting like notified. I'm probably never going to take that out or ever even use it, even in this live stream of this unboxing of this video. So we'll just leave that there. Now let's unbox this bad boy. So it's always like a mad rush. What do you want to take out first? Like if you had this figure in your hand, what do you want to take out first? Do you want to take out the accessories and then like kind of tease yourself, or do you want to take out the actual figure? Do you want to take out certain figures? Do you want to take out the hands? On this particular one, I actually took out the Spider-Man instruction manual first. I recently unboxed the Iron Patriot Hot Toy. This thing came with a booklet. It came with real instructions. It didn't say this cheap they have now. This stuff is not what it used to be like. I only noticed because I unboxed that one. So we have the eyes. The eyes on this one, compared to the Iron Spider one, it's supposed to be much easier to move. They move right into the articulation for the arms, which is going to be 90 degrees. I believe it has a ratchet. Ratchets up, and it has 120 degrees, so it's going to bend twice on the elbow. We got 90, and then we got 60 going the other way for the knee. And then on the foot here, it actually says do not pose it by there. And then it comes with all the equipped strips for the web, which hands hold which accessories. I'm glad it comes with the phone too. This is a drone, a little Spidey drone. We've seen this. This goes around his head and his neck. It looks stupid. How do you assemble the backdrop? And the backdrop is going to be underneath here, like so. So there's the backdrop that comes with it. When you get your first Hot Toy figure, to be honest, you're going to use this backdrop. And then, once you get more than one, you're never going to use this backdrop ever again. I'm not even going to put it together. The people who've been doing their photography, they kind of been using this, but not really. They've been taking just the screenshots of the actual game and then just framing their figure into the actual post. We have the drone here. It says it's supposed to be somewhat articulated, as of you can turn the legs. not actually move it. The legs around the actual spider is supposed to be like a coil, like a spring-ish kind of thing. This isn't magnetic, I believe. And the color for this actually resembles the iron spider. The iron spider more than the other one. I don't remember it using in the game. Thank you for your follow. Spike the Vegeta. Boom. So that was one accessory. I think I'm going to use this accessory too. Like I'm going to put this accessory somewhere on by his feet. Next, and probably one of the better accessories, it's going to be this. Look at this little thing. It's a little toy plush. Very detailed. It's a you got a big head. It's almost like a Funko Pop with legs that's not standing. Sitting down. He sits fine. There's supposed to be a hand that actually holds this, and you can check that out right there. Look at that. Pretty cool. Pretty interesting. He even got the bottom of the feet, just like the Advanced Suit Spider-Man. I originally was going to buy the actual suit and do a live stream of it, and I kind of pushed out. It comes with a web. They all come with these webs, and I never ever use them. Punky, quit making fun of me. As for accessories in here, let's see if I can flip this without losing anything. We got 4 wrist guards where you're going to be able to plant the web in there as if he's shooting them. They're detailed. This I can care less for. Next up, we have 2 of these grenades. They look like eyeballs that like came out of someone's face. These are probably not going to get used as well. I wish they made these, well, you can't really, like the ones that are on a Deathstroke that has like a band and you can attach it to his waist. But these are definitely going to get lost if I don't put them back like within 5 seconds. This was 2 accessories. I had no idea what they are. And I didn't watch anybody's reviews on this, even metal. So I don't even think they would be. Thank you for King Lou. Thank you for your follow. Spider Punky. I would think they go with like the Deadpool as the magnetic and they hold up stuff for the background, but I don't think so. Next here we have, we'll go with these. These are magnetic, and these are like little spider bombs that are attached to metal. So if you have them in the DTOF, should attach here like so, which it does. So that attaches fine. I just don't know the purpose of it, but I'm glad they gave us as the accessories and 20 hands. Next up, we have this little, I don't know, I thought it was like a Swiss blade at first. I was about to cut somebody, like Spider-Man about to cut somebody up. But it looks like a hard drive or communicator. I totally don't remember it in the game. It's a device you use when you fight Vulture. So you gotta get that far. This kit again comes with all the little spider webs. This is a short pole for him. I thought they would give you a little bit bigger one. To assemble this, quite simple. And you can tighten it once you find out how you're gonna pose them up. Hands wise, I'm gonna bring out just one side. We got the rock, keeping it rock out with your cut out. It comes with a open hand, hold nice tight fists if you can hit somebody. Usually these are the standard ones that are on them, but they went with those. Open hand, as if he's attached to the wall, and that is a piece. We have the one that's gonna be holding, I think this one said the doll. It should have been a beer. That would have been better. The device of this little communicator that Tank says is to defeat the Vulture, or shows up when the Vulture shows up. Like I said, these accessories I'm probably never going to use. Now let's check out Mr. Advanced Suit Spider-Man. The first thing I want to go over is going over the features that said do not do this unless you're going to break them, and that is this. Don't go like this with him. And I can see why, because this is like kind of glued on, and if you try to pose him doing that, you're gonna rip that right off. what I liked about the design was they came up with their own design, the video game company. I don't even think who made it. Was it? I don't think it was EA that made it. I think it was something with Vision. They came up with the design, but having this white spider on the shirt, which definitely made it its own little color and its own style, which I loved because throughout the entire figure, and usually with a Spider-Man figure you get his white eyes, but you're able to go throughout the entire figure and see little spots like this on his hands, going through his forearms, going on the back, and then on his shoes, which make him stand out more than the homemade suit. Totally different. You got the matching feet, right? Everything matches, everything goes together. This one, they designed it so that the whole suit overall looks fantastic as a design feature. Even the wrist pegs go all the way around. They all match together, so you get a little bit of everything, even on the knuckles. So if Spider-Man's going to punch you right in the face, me personally, I don't even think you would add any more white on here. I think if you put the white through the webbing, that'd be way overkill. And maybe you could do a little sleek design here, but that's really it for the design aspect. As a Hot Toys recreating it, they hit a home run on it for sure. Is this suit material the same as the Black Panther? I've been thinking about the Black Panther. No. As you can see, I can move his pretty good and loosely. And even if it wasn't loose, it feels thin. Like I can pinch this, and if I wanted to poke a hole in it right now, just by pinching it like so, I could poke a hole with my nails going just like this. On this, it's much thicker. I would actually need to cut this right here. I would have to cut from his shin to actually put to damage this. It's two different designs. One, you're gonna notice here this cranks. You can hear the ratchet in his shoulders, right? It is thin, right? He doesn't have one. Black Panther doesn't have a ratchet in his shoulders at all. So it doesn't really tell you where the limitations are, or if you're trying to pose him in a position, say you want to have him up here and maybe put something in his hand, you could do that. Or if you're having him getting pushed back or something like that, you can do that very well. Boom. Yeah. Now, like I said, posing him wise, you know, people are taking this dude and they're flinging him around and they're throwing him around and they're doing all this stuff with him. The only poses I've seen so far going with him, because if you lift his knee up, you know, you get the creases here, which I don't want, and then look at that hip. You got to pull this hip back, this material back, because you don't want it to get stuck inside there. It's not like it's cloth material. This is his suit. So you can't really, you know, chance it if you own this figure. Unless someone gave you one for maybe $200, you can have a blast with it. But I just don't want to physically just pose the figure, damage it to where it's actually ripped, because I wanted to make it pose. I should have just bought a Funko Pop and been happy with my damn Advanced Suit Spider-Man, which I do actually own somewhere. Now, the same thing goes on the back end too. Understand that. The best pose for him so far for him that I've seen is actually having him as if you'll probably see more poses like this. Like I'm thinking, because I got so many figures, that I'm not going to be reposing him. So if I'm going to put him in one single pose, so I don't have to worry about him anymore, it's going to be something along these lines. And get him basically like as if he's just shooting out. You know, it would be a different pose for your Spider-Man display, because the other ones are going to probably look either standing straight up, if it's going to be the Iron Spider. If it's him, you can have him jumping off the damn walls, doing backflips, cartwheels. This guy is full-blown. You could do anything with him, and that's why he's probably one of the most sought-after Spider-Mans, or is the most sought-after Spider-Man there that you come, because whatever you actually really want to do to this one, you can do it to this one, and at least get some enjoyment, I guess. Pose him like he's doing a full dive. So Something along those lines-ish. But again, the display stand is just... It should be a little bit longer, because if it was taller, even if it was just about this tall, you can have him in that diving pose. If not, you would hold him up, right? So you can have him like that. Unless you turn this around. Maybe if we turn this around. I could definitely see you if you worked hard enough for this. Or if you grabbed another pole out of another display box. You could go with that. So I like that idea, especially. So what you can do with these too is you take this, right? You wrap this using zip ties. I'll move it down a little bit. Little zip ties to the actual stand, and then you put them inside wherever you want. And if it's definitely the top row, you could probably even fit it in there to where you have him just levitating as if he's diving down. It would be something like this, coming down, which wouldn't be too bad. Am I glad I got it? Absolutely. I want to get all the Spider-Man figures. I'm not an Iron Man guy. The most figures, if I had to pick out of my Marvel, my Marvel collection, is definitely going to be Spider-Man. One, because they make so many of them, and he's always been everybody's fan favorite as a kid. Him, or I always say him or Batman. Let's try out some of these hands that hold some of these accessories. If you like not want to have this thing wrinkled, you have to do one of these Chicha poses, like he's just got out of, he walking down in that one part of the mall. These little wrist pegs are just going to cover up that little gapage that they had. So that was a pretty smart idea what they have there with it. So that's nice. I wanted to mention about the suit too. What was cool about this suit compared to the Black Panther suit, which I'm glad I did not put away too far. Obviously you can see the Black Panther six-pack, right? He got that big torso here. But you can see on his biceps here, they made these suit design as if you can see his biceps, you can see his quadriceps, as if he's literally shredded underneath here. And it has indentations as if he has these jacked up quads. You can even see like that knee, look at that. The double joints there, as if he has a real knee, which is nice. And when it bends, the lower part goes down, which is great. So in that aspect, and design of how well done they got the actual sculpt of a human being, a muscular one, is ridiculous. I like seeing all those little ligaments and tendons. And let's put the phone in his hand. He holds it. It's a little awkward. He doesn't have like a good grip on it. It almost looks like it's as if he's dropping. He's dropping it. His head doesn't come up like the mole does. You can just take his head off, right? So it's magnetic. And if you want him to look up, he's looking up here. Spider-Man, he's looking about here. He's looking up here. So if you put him in that same kind of pose, his Spider-Man, I would say his is, it's almost, it's not that, it's like maybe even there-ish. It's not that extra like 15 degrees that you want. So he is hindered. Oh. Yeah, like I don't even want to jack up his neck to where he's coming up like that. I don't know. I fight for my money, and I don't want to damage any of my figures. So for me, it seems as if we're going to be putting him in the same basic ass pose with him either holding the phone. He can go with this one here as if he's shooting her and Mary Jane in her chocha. I think that's what kids call it. Like, I understand the ability to pose figures and not be able to pose figures. I understand that I'm buying these figures based off of just them replicating the actual suit or whatever the individual's wearing. But as a fun figure to own in the collection, the best figure is going to be him. He is the best one. This whole video is, I'm probably just going to take a bunch of clips and I'm just going to make a review off of it and see how that turns out, and probably going to do more like this because I want to sit there and enjoy the figure. I want to explain it, what I feel about it with you guys as I'm doing it, and why I said this, why I said that. I know everybody else, you know, they get the figure, take it out of the box, they unbox it, they review it, and they put it to the side. I feel like I got more enjoyment out of this figure and the mall figure by unboxing it, putting it together in a video for an hour and a half, 2 hours, kind of live stream, that I enjoyed it more than just off the camera doing my own thing or bringing it on after I do it and not playing with it.